What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Trust the Tape. You see Bryan Broaddus rocking his Crown Global Media pullover, his Doing All Right hat. What a day for merch. What a day for merch. Welcome in. Cowboys beat the Chiefs. My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
And you're sitting on my little tiny YouTube page, and I'm alongside Bryan Broaddus, Super Bowl winning scout, the greatest drafter of all time. Check that 1998 Philadelphia draft if you don't believe me.
Hey, Brian.
How you doing, Brian?
Doing excellent, Jeff. Thank you.
It's good to see you. It's good to see the people here, too. The people were already here. Yeah, you do get spiffy, Jeff, today. I'm checking on my status of growing out my hair. I'm just letting it grow. So I've been wearing a hat every day for about 6 months. So I slapped some crap in it to see how we're looking and see what sort of progress we're making and what we need to do. We need to cut up this back is what we need to do. But nobody cares about that. Hi, Brian. It's good to see you. Good morning, bud.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I thought maybe because of the holiday season, you were going for one of your apostles look that you every once in a while throw down with all the hair and the beard and all that. You like, for the holiday season.
I do like to be as close to those folks as I can, especially during the season. And I want to be clear about something I did yesterday on our post-game show. I need you guys to know that.
Yeah.
What's it called when you take a bunch of words, but then you just use one letter to represent them all? What's that called? Like BC, before Christ, it's an abbreviation, but what's the word for it? Doesn't matter, because I was just talking about how different this team is and how exciting it is. I'm going either AT or AA, because we're going BQ. This team before Quinnen, not good, right?
Yeah.
But this team after acquisition or after trade, AT or AA, pretty nice little team. Acronym. There we go. And this guy said
acronym. There we go. All right. Yeah.
You got the hangover this morning, Brian? That's what Taylor's making that accusation of you.
No
hangover. And then Tone's taking
not
a
at
shot
all.
at me attempting to fix my hair.
Been up since 5 watching tape.
My God, you're a psycho. Bryan Broaddus, the hardest working man in the world. I was going to say in cowboy land, but I don't think that encompasses enough.
Yeah, we got done. We got done with post-game show at 9:30, got home about 10. Checked on some Twitter stuff, went to bed, woke up at 4:30, got here at 5. Yeah. I mean, this is what we do, man. I mean, people want to know what the hell happened in games. So that's what we do. Nothing to it. It's our jobs, man.
Yeah. I am appreciative of it because you're an absolute psycho. Because I will get to that. I will get to that tape today. But just people need to know that Brian's not normal.
Yeah.
The level of what you're going to get, how quickly you're going to get it is insane. And so make sure you're following the Crown Global Media YouTube account and stay up to date with all of those things. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if anybody notices anything wonky, I have a little bit of a delay. I can tell from me to you. And so if I'm sitting here quietly for a second, it's because I'm not sure if Brian's going to go or if he's not. And it's just something that's going wonky on me, and it's clearly on my end. And now we're going to get over that. So Brian, 28 points, Pat Mahomes throws for 4 touchdowns. So obviously life is not perfect, but just how much better, how much more competitive does it allow everybody to be? Is it still just the Quinnen Williams effect? Is it still just the fact that everything around him becomes easier and better?
Yeah, I think that they're more willing to do things now because they have better personnel to do it with. In this football game, when you look at Dallas and how they played Kansas City was compromised throughout the game. Their offensive linemen, they lost a couple of offensive linemen during the game, and Matt Eberflus and his bunch kind of took advantage of that. He played far less zone coverage. I mean, there's times against the Raiders, played about 93% zone coverage. In this game, he plays about 57% of it. You could tell that he was interested in trying to do the best he can to give this guy a different look. It's a difficult quarterback to play. It's a quarterback that's unique in his ability to make plays, to improvise as he's playing. We saw that plenty last night, the way that he moves around in the pocket. Dallas did a really good job with their zone coverage. They did a really good job with their zone coverage, got him 2 sacks in the game. So that was it's always a positive thing when you get to that point where your zone, you think, oh well, man coverage, that's where you get all your pressures, that's where you get all your sacks. But it was them playing a little bit of zone. The man coverage stuff was right about 40%. I just think he's more confident with the rush he has, with the linebackers he has. He played spy one time. I know people freak out about that. They're always, you're going to spy Mahomes. I watched a play where Overshown was the spy and they gained 16 yards. I mean, that's going to happen in a game. You go, oh, it's the spy, use the spy, and yeah, run for 16 yards. And it's rough. I mean, when you play these teams that like this, with the skill level that they have, the quarterback that they have, it's a Hall of Fame quarterback. But for them to go almost 60-40 zone and man, I think he had a really, really good game plan for this one.
And I think it's important for people to realize in football that sometimes the other team does make a play, because I know we got some chatter right after the game where it was like, God, Kenneth Murray as a spy is so useless. And I'm like, well, the first spy was Overshown, and it was 13 yards to go on third down, and he gave up 16. And then I think it was like a third and short where Murray was the spy and Mahomes gets 3 more yards than he needs. That sucker's hard to deal with is the answer to that. And when you've got a like in the case of the Overshown one, when you've got a blocker clean in front of you trying to play a mirror game, eventually you have to make a decision. And Overshown kind of committed left, and he was wrong because Mahomes can move. And then you end up like that. And I do think the game plan for Eberflus, who's been a punching bag for a long time, I'll fight every one of you. We talked about it, I think, on this, definitely on DLS, and I think on here too. Like Rashee Rice pretty much does all of his damage when you play zone defense.
That's right.
Kansas City Chiefs receivers.
Yep, absolutely right.
They don't win against man coverage, and now you can risk some big ones.
They don't.
But like their team is built for Pat Mahomes to look at where your guys are standing and know exactly who's going to clear where, when, and have an exact feel for how that's going to go. And giving up 28, it's interesting because they gave up 28, which if you give up 28 a game, you'll probably be one of the 5 worst defenses in football. But that was a competitive effort by a defense while giving up 4 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. Like, that's all I'm asking for from this defense is a number of stops. Give me a few of them things. And if you're not in the lead right out of the gate of a football game, give your incredibly awesome offense a chance to be able to have an opportunity to tip those scales. And so if they can just do what they did in this game, I don't want to give up 28 every week, but just resemble a competitive defense that has some timely pressures and some timely forced incompletions, and give me a chance to get the ball in the hands of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Baby, we're cooking.
Yeah, they did a good job in the second half of getting some stops. I mean, they came out and got some stops, and I mean, hey, give them credit for getting off the field in the second half. Give Dallas's offense some credit for taking the ball the way they did, with Kansas City having 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning and killing that game. Man, that's impressive. That's what you got to be able to do. But they got some stops. It's just a matter of Dallas, when they do get stops, the offense can't waste the stops. They've got to go find a way. They can't give the ball back to Mahomes. They've got to find a way to get points and keep it going. But we talk about it a bunch. He played a bunch of nickel yesterday on defense. They gave up some touchdowns playing nickel. It's going to happen. He played a little of the 5-man line stuff with the 1 linebacker. That was effective. He played his base defense, probably only 5 snaps in this game. And then, we talk about the 5 down with 2 linebackers and the 4 defensive backs. That was a little bit of Kansas City got after you doing that. So he was searching for ways to try and affect this Kansas City offense. And Mahomes is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's one of the best to ever play this game. And you were going to deal in some situations, to get him to throw an incompletion, to get him to take a sack, to get him to, it is as difficult as a task that you can imagine in the National Football League, having to play, and especially on a short week against a team that's not a common opponent. They got under center far more in this game, Kansas City did, and we're running the football out of that. Kansas City is generally like a 70% pass team. and they got under center and started running the ball. And you're like going, well, damn, we haven't seen that. And that was on a short week. That's kind of going back to basics and saying, hey, we don't have a lot of time. We're going to prep this thing. And, like I said, I think for the most part, man, playing against that quarterback, it's like, I only equate it to like playing when I was in Green Bay playing Barry Sanders. You hold your breath every single play. There's all of a sudden it's a pass play, and you get pressure, and Clowney
Quinnen got
dive,
him. Clowney got
dive. Yeah, he's diving at his feet, and then Williams is diving at his feet,
yeah.
and then Ezra Rocco's diving at his feet, and he's stumbling around like a Bourbon Street drunk out there, and he throws the ball to Worthy, who, and Bridges gets knocked down in the middle of the field, and you're like going, how does that happen? And then you go, well, it's damn Pat Mahomes. He stumbles out of 2 sacks and finds the one guy that is completely wide open. That's Pat Mahomes. And hell, you beat Pat Mahomes yesterday. Congratulations.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take Roman Wolf Gaming wanted to know if the super chats work. He said they're not displaying on the screen, but I'm clicking one. I hope you can see it. It says, Brian, we need safeties bad. What's your top safeties? And I appreciated Vach last night because he was laughing when he said it. But he was like, we're fighting off draft talk. We're fighting off draft talk.
It's so funny. It's so funny. He sent out a tweet last night that was you and your ice tank, which is perfect. And then it's that I don't know the military movie it was. I don't know.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder's not a real military movie. But I think it's the one where Tom Hanks is sitting there leaning up next to the tank, and he's just firing into the tank with a handgun. I think it was
Private Ryan.
Might have been a Saving Private Ryan. I don't know. It was one of those things where your guy's he's just sitting there with a handgun, and he's just firing into a tank, and Bosch goes trying to fight off draft talk. He's got this handgun and he's just firing it into the tank. But
that's what we're doing. We're trying to fight it off.
Hey, I'll tell you this though. I got a show with you today we're doing, and then I got Bosch's show. We got our show that'll be posted. And then the rest of the day I'm spending looking at college players. I'm here at the studio. I'll be looking at college players all day today. But yeah, I tell you what, Jeff will tell you the Ohio State kid's one of the best safeties in the draft. I wouldn't disagree with him on that.
I love it. I am prepared for the.
By the way, Booker was out. If you notice, he went in the game. He had back spasms. He had back spasms in the game, and he was. That's what caused him to miss a lot of the time.
And then you had Bland, who I'm looking on the field, and I'm like, why is Bridges on the field? I don't understand. So we're getting beat up.
It's chaos, man. It's chaos. You're playing Pat Mahomes, and you're playing with guys that shouldn't even be out there, but they're out there. They're out there.
2 of his touchdowns, he's just like, I don't know, nobody's open. I'll just throw it towards Rashee Rice and assume that Bridges guy won't make a play, and he didn't. And then one, it's like, I'm going to just hit Kelsey in the back of the head and assume Kenneth Murray can't make a play, and he can't. Like, he's just out there trusting.
He knows, man. He knows.
He's out there trusting and believing. DeMonte wants Brian Schottenheimer to be coach of the year. They've been on fire. I think we got to get you got to keep going to get coach of the year. I think I don't think
that guy in Chicago, man. The guy in Chicago's doing a hell of a job.
So that guy in Chicago, let me tell you a secret. That guy in Chicago, and thank you to Miguel, who's in the super chat as well, just throwing one in there. Let me tell you a secret about that guy in Chicago. I think he's the one that we need to actually fall apart if we want to have a shot at this thing. I think that is the team.
Yeah, their record, their schedule, kind of presents a little bit.
I think that's the one that gives you a chance. You either need Philly. Your 2 likely ways to be able to get this done. You either need
Philly falling apart and winning the division would be great, but
you either need Philly to lose 3 games. Like, first of all, you got to win out probably. And then you need Philly to lose 3, or you need the Bears to lose 3 and the Packers to win that division. And it's doable with the Bears, because I think the Bears will be underdogs in every game but one the rest of the way, even though they're 8-3. It's Packers twice. It's Lions. It's Eagles. I think they're going to be dogs.
The Ravens. I thought the Ravens were going to do something until I watched that thing last night a little bit, man.
They just started turning the ball over for fun. I thought the Ravens might end up being the best team in football by the time we got to the postseason, because like the Rams are playing really well. Everybody else.
The Rams. Seeing the Rams live, I could understand that. Like in preseason, you look at their team and you're like, wow, they're pretty good on offense. And then you watch what they've got on defense. You stand next to Verse and those guys, and you're going, okay, I kind of get it. I get what they're doing here.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody else that are the best teams, and this is why I wish time travel, we could just crank it up one time, time travel, start the season over with Quinnen already on the team, because you
Yeah,
would
sure.
make the playoffs and you would be a threat to win the Super Bowl. And now you just got to hope you can scrap and claw and be perfect.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
gonna
hope
make
somebody helps
yeah.
you.
Yeah, what's going to happen is we're all going to be real mad when Dallas goes on this thing and they end up like 10-5-1 and don't get in, one of those things, or what, 10-6-1 or something like that. Yeah, 10-6-1, and it's going to be like, oh damn, now they're picking 16th, and everybody's all mad because they didn't get in, and then Green Bay's picks like 28, and you're picking 15th and 28, and everybody's like, damn, that kind of thing.
But you still have Quinnen Williams. And as long as you keep Quinnen Williams
Yeah.
and George Pickens, then I think that you
Sure.
have a chance going into next year to enter the
Sure.
year feeling great.
Feeling
And,
better. Yeah.
I think one of the most important things in this game to me is one of the things that Bryan Broaddus told you about. You made me feel better. And then I put in the prediction 2 days ago that CeeDee would have a 100-yard game, because
Sure.
you helped me feel better about where we were with that.
Yeah.
And shockingly, oh my God, CeeDee Lamb's still really good at this sport. Trent McDuffie's an all-pro. If you take away those PIs and you give those as receiving yards to CeeDee Lamb, even without it, Trent McDuffie gave up more yards to CeeDee Lamb in the first quarter than he's given to any receiver all year. So CeeDee Lamb showed up, and he did it against an all-pro. Like, what's up? I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still me.
Yeah.
And so that gets you the opportunity to just be so excited about that's what it's supposed to look like, For a while there, Pickens has 3 catches on 9 targets. Like, don't worry about what happens in little tiny spurts. You have CeeDee Lamb and you have George Pickens. Life is good.
Well, give a tip of the cap to Williams for blitz pickup stuff. Give a tip of the cap to Nate Thomas for playing really, really well in that football game. There was a lot of things that Kansas City was kind of trying to throw at you with the blitzes, the twist fronts, the act like we're going to blitz, then blitz and not blitz. They were trying. Steve Spagnuolo was trying. Dak did a great job. The blitz pickups were really, really good in this game. Tip of the cap to the line. The Kansas City struggles with pressure. Well, they struggle with sacks, but Dallas did a really nice job of hanging in there and not letting a lot of movement and stuff be a problem for them.
Don't let me forget to talk about Nate Thomas, but I want to make sure we keep up with these super chats.
Sure.
We have Leo. The best part about Dak's game this year is not taking some bad sacks and being so much better in the pocket than years past. Love from Brazil. And I don't want to fight the super chatter, but that's always been a good part of Dak's game. Dak's always been really good. If you give him a chance anywhere forward that he has to move to, he does a really nice job of manipulating the pocket. And the best he ever did it was probably that Green Bay game where there was a lot of pressure. And he was like, watch me hang 40. Like, I'll make you guys right. I'll make you guys.
Oh, hey, yeah. There was a couple times where he got the football gods were good with you yesterday on like back-to-back plays down there in the red zone.
I told our producer.
Dak didn't see Mike Edwards standing there. He just did not see Mike Edwards. When he saw Pickens cross and he said, I'm going to throw this ball. And that damn Mike Edwards was standing right there and just drove straight down a hill at it. I'm like, oh, my God. And then the very next play, hey, every time you want to get mad at Turpin, anytime you want to get mad at Turpin, just remember that little son of a gun outran 3 Kansas City Chiefs from about 4 yards deep to get that football. Anytime you want to get mad at him, just remember how he made one play that saved your ass in a big game.
Well, the Cowboys are such a wild team because those 2 plays and Turpin. Like, I remember
back to back.
We were talking
back. They happen.
And on a time when you were like, I think you'd like to score a touchdown. Like, you'd like to feel really good about this.
Yeah.
But you also would really like this clock to be running. And now you're trying to throw a pick. And then you're trying to fumble the ball away. Like, it was a freaking roller coaster. And I told our producer, John, because his background is at DLLS, the DLS Cowboys podcast. His background is he used to work at Next Gen Sports.
Sure.
And I was like, I know it's not going to be publicly available, but I need to know. Did Dak hit his top running speed of the season right after he released that ball where Mike Edwards was there?
Yeah.
Because he knew the fact that he was in
he
the
knew
frame
it.
to make sure it hit the
He
ground.
knew it.
He
knew
let
it.
it go and took
And
off
he
running.
would,
He goes, he couldn't pull it back. And he's like, oh
exactly.
God, what have I
Oh
done?
God. Yeah. I mean, Pickens is hustling. Pickens is hustling. But man, as soon as Dak let the ball go, I bet you his eyes got
He goes,
just so damn. I got to go make a tackle.
yeah, and then George, of course, it's third
Yeah.
down. George,
Yeah.
I only had time to make one sound, but that one
Yeah.
sound was my prediction of him about to fumble the football because he
Yeah.
catches it and he's got a long way to go for a first down, and immediately it's
He's
here. He's holding the
yeah,
ball like
yeah,
this.
he's just kind of like he's
Eventually,
George.
he kind of, but he's holding it like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
so that he
yeah.
can
He's
stiff arm a
he's
guy.
thinking about he's going to jump over somebody or yeah.
And my
Oh my
sound was
God.
George, and then he fumbles, and it's just like Jesus, you try to give this thing away after all you've done.
Wait till you see Turpin.
What's he doing?
Turpin's coming across the field, kind of a shallow cross. And like there are nothing but offensive linemen over there. There's nobody. There's not, Scooty's not over there, Spanford, nobody's over there. It's George and a bunch of Kansas City Chiefs. And all of a sudden you see Turpin just, I mean, his awareness it's like he never stopped. He knew something like I gotta get over there. And he did, man. I mean, it was, hey, what a game saving play that was. Jesus.
That was goofy. Good morning, guys, from the Truth Seeker on here. And yes, as somebody noted in the chat earlier, the dogs are going nuts. Your boy is dog sitting 2 dogs, so I have 300-pound dogs in here. The doggy door is open. I wish they would take their butts outside. I think I have enough obstacles in the way that the other 2 won't go swimming, which they like to do, and destroy my house. So we just have to deal with the noise. Good morning, guys. O looked much more active. How is Revel looking on tape? There's a nice question for you. I do think I have questions on if Tony Romo does any work anymore. Just based on the stuff he says during the game, and I love Tony Romo.
I didn't get to listen to Tony. Sorry.
Oh, dude! Like the first play that Revel did anything, he was just like, "Oh yeah," and that's a massive hit on that pick. Like he's been great for them. He's really. And I'm like, does he know he's played like 40 plays? Like he was talking about him like he had been having this Pro Bowl rookie season.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think Tony knows that this dude's barely played.
Yeah.
And like I
like 3 games, yeah.
Yeah, and he's played like 19 snaps and then 20 snaps, and it's just like but Romo was talking about him like, oh my God, this dude, what an impact he's had. And I'm like, I liked his tape in the first game, but I just don't think Romo works. How did you think that Revel looked in this one?
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a challenge to have to deal with these guys. I know with all the zone and the man coverage that you have to play with, there was I evaluate things with him about how he's moving around. And like when you watch him when the ball's not his direction, is he in shape? Is he okay? Is he double moved? Is he falling down? Is he tripping? Or what's going on with him? He gets it. He absolutely gets it where he needs to be. He's got a really good understanding of how to play this scheme and where he has to fit in the scheme, whether it's the zone coverage stuff, whether he has to carry. There was a couple of times with Mahomes that things were kind of breaking down and he was able to kind of stay with his guy. Those are the things you have to be encouraged by. The length, the size, the willingness to tackle. Man, this guy's only going to get better. And it's a rough stretch right now. They're going through some pretty decent receivers here. We'll see what happens with Detroit with St. Brown. He hurt his ankle in the game. Will he be available? But there's, and then, Minnesota's got a guy, it's every time he goes out there and plays, it's a learning experience for him. And, and he gets to, but I think he really gets it. You don't see him like out of place. You see him where he needs to be, and whether the ball's to his side or away from him, he's doing a nice job.
It is time in the broadcast for us to shout out our friends at Underdog. Underdog Fantasy is absolutely amazing. Obviously, football season is in full swing. Underdog's the best place to get in on all that action. Playing on Underdog is very easy. All you do is you pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. You get the picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. It's easy. I like to do a little hating with my underdog picks. I like to just go pick Jalen Hurts and say less on everything. That's what I like to do. And you can make a pretty good living right now on the Cowboy receivers and Dak, just saying, yeah, I think they're all going to have more than whatever those projected stats are. And you can play it across different sports and all that stuff. Download the Underdog app today. And if you sign up with the promo code TAPE, that's ours, TAPE, trust the tape. You just use the word tape. You'll get $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Let me get the disclaimer up on the screen because
there we go.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure we get that bad boy in there.
Great logo.
So download the app, use the promo code TAPE. You'll score $100 in bonus entries when you play that first $5. Promo code is TAPE. Underdog, make picks, win money. Yes, that's nice. Nate Thomas at left tackle.
Yeah.
Did he piece together another good one? I feel like even him coming into games, early returns, you were like, all right, we need to see more. And then it was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And then
Nate Thomas, I think, held up very, very well in this game. The 39 snaps that were drop back snaps, no pressures. And then the tape showed that as well. I was interested last night post game when we got the next gen stuff, how his game, I think across the board, these guys played pretty well when it came to the pass protection. We talked about it a bunch in our preview of this game. Kansas City struggles to sack the quarterback. They have to bring pressure. They have to blitz. They have to find ways to manufacture things. And it's been a problem for them. Even blitzing has been a problem for them. But when you look at Nate Thomas overall, his ability to fit in the runs, I thought was really, really good. It's not easy. He's out there on an island a lot of the times. I didn't look up the number how many times he was by himself. A lot of times these Cowboy offensive tackles are there 75, 80% of the time. They're one-on-one with their guys. But on the tape, I'll tell you what, I felt like he held up really, really well. There wasn't anything where it was just, glaring problems. I mean, every once in a while you're going to get that. You get beat inside. You don't get over fast enough. You're on the borderline of being called for holding. That's going to happen with these guys. Hell, it happened with the Chiefs guys too. So, but overall, I think you'd have to be pleased with him playing the way he played left tackle in that football game for you.
Rel is in the super chat. He said, what dirt does Kenneth Murray have on Eberflus that he continues to start every week? I haven't seen snap counts yet, but I did notice that on the last drive of the game, as you got down towards the goal line, it was Logan Wilson playing. So when you got down to nut cutting time, Logan Wilson and Overshone were the guys playing linebacker. Do you notice a difference between those two, or is it just sort of like,
Logan Wilson had a touchdown that was, in his area as well. They down in the goal line, they play that cover two, that shell zone defense, and they asked that Mike linebacker to have to carry the route in the middle of the field. And all of a sudden now back to the offense, and they're trying to kind of find the ball. And it's been a problem. I mean, that their coverage with their linebackers down in the red zone, especially the Mike linebacker, has been abysmal. It really has. And it happened with Murray. It happened with Logan Wilson. The last touchdown that the Chiefs scored was a route that, you're asking guys to, you're playing too deep, you're kind of bracketing things on the outside, and now you're asking your Mike linebacker to cover so much of the middle of the field. In that situation, you get a free release and then into the middle, and what do you know? It's going to be a touchdown. Pat Mahomes gets it protected up, and here we go. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I think this is something as a scheme evaluation needs to be addressed, and maybe you don't want to put your Mike linebackers in those situations.
It'll be okay next year when Sonny Styles is our Mike linebacker. We'll just have the best athlete on the field out there at Mike linebacker, Ohio State. Sonny Styles, check him out. That's the guy that I absolutely love. Yeah. Swayze's in the super chat. He said, Grandpa proved all you media content creators wrong. The Gambler got elite wide receiver and an elite DT for a third and someone else's first. 2022 Super Bowl year, when also a second now. Throw that in there. Jerry, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason. I've always said he's incredible at this. Jerry's one of the best team builders to ever live. No, but I do think there's a lesson there for Jerry. Yeah, trade for the really good players. Trading for guys who somebody thought would be good 3 to 5 years ago and assuming that they will be for you after they've failed elsewhere, probably not the ticket to winning. Mingo, Lance, Elam, Murray, trading for good players that are good, that have been good in the NFL, not a bad idea. Can we raise a toast from Miguel to having a cornerback that's willing to tackle in Savone Rebel? He does.
I think
told me he does
Bland. I think Bland's willing to tackle. I think Reedy Stewart's willing to tackle. They got guys that can tackle. It's just a matter of some time where they miss the tackles. That's when it kind of hurts. Kansas City tackles really well. Yeah. That's a team. I mean, when you look at Pickens spun on him one time and got a big gain, but overall, man, ball to the flat. It seemed like to me every time something was kind of happening. And by the way, on the first Dak interception, I meant to say this. I think Dak missed a hot route. I think he missed a hot. Ferg saw it. Ferg saw it, was calling for the ball, and Dak focused. Dak didn't feel that blitzer. He didn't feel the blitzer, and Ferg was calling for the ball. If he pops up and just hits Ferg, that's going to be a big play. But he had the interception to the other side.
James Richardson's in the super chat. He said, Bears beat the Eagles today. I will tell you this. Here's my reaction to that question from you, James, and we do obviously appreciate you being in the super chat. It's hard for me to not pull against the Eagles. I do wish failure on them. I do enjoy that they're falling apart. Bears have a harder schedule the rest of the way out. So you're good either way. Just know whichever one of those teams loses today is the team that you are really hoping you can catch. Because you have to catch one of them.
Right.
And you need the Bears not to win their division, or you have to beat the Eagles in your division. And those are the dudes that you're going to be hunting. So whichever one loses, you begin rooting against that team every week, because that's every week trying to go. That's who you're trying to go run down. And Patty's in the super chat. Happy Thanksgiving from Joe Biadani and Rob DiCenzo.
Yeah.
Thank you. Today is my Thanksgiving, so I'd like to thank my family for having Thanksgiving on Fridays because I work on Thursdays and not doing Thanksgiving without me. It's very nice of them. Mm-hmm. Mike's super chat. Thomas seems to be a way better left tackle than right tackle. Guyton played right tackle in college. Do we think
for 8 weeks? For 8 weeks, he did.
Do you think we're going to flip him around? I do think Steele will be gone this offseason because obviously they're trying to get him off the field and his guaranteed money is gone and you can save money. He will be gone. Do you think there'll be any flippy, or you think Guyton's the left tackle?
I think Guyton's your left tackle. I really do. He's played more snaps at left tackle than he has at right tackle in his career. He played 8 games. He played 8 games in college. I mean, let's not act like was an all-American right tackle. He wasn't. Yeah,
Dad Exotic is in the super chat. This team folds with Mike McCarthy as our coach these last 2 games. Shoddy's truly changed the culture, I believe, and I'm here for it. Now all we got to do is win the rest of them and let somebody else screw up. Bryan Broaddus, thank you so much.
Hey, Brian.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Remember, guys, is it the hot dog or the bun? Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families, although I think most of you did it yesterday. And remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.